This thing just looks so massive, but in fact, it's only a 4.6 liter. This is a 4-cam motor out of a 3.5 Lincoln Aviator. It's pretty much the same as Marauders and some Cobras as well. It's an all aluminum engine. I have no idea what's wrong with it. I do know it has sat outside longer than anything else I think I've ever gotten in. It is super corroded on the outside. I am very concerned about the amount of rust in the cylinder walls and on the tops of the valves. But for the price I paid, I can't really complain. For its displacement, it is just one of the biggest engines. The reason I bought this engine is, well, there's only one reason I bought this engine. I don't really do a lot of these, but I don't see a lot of them either. And that is there are two types of cylinder heads for them. There are a 4-thread, and then there's a 9-thread. And the 9-thread is the updated head. It's the head everybody wants. They bring a lot of money, like a lot of money. I think I sold my last pair for like $1,600 or $1,700. So really hoping the heads make it. There's some other value in the rest of it as well. So I don't think it's too much of a risk, but it also has been a really long time since I've taken one of these apart. I mean, a really long time. I don't see very many. So there's a little bit of a learning curve as far as this is concerned. It's not like an LS or a Hemi where I can do it with my eyes closed. I actually have to pay attention this time. You guys know the drill. We're going to go ahead and knock the plugs out of it and see what those look like, see if they'll tell us a story. Well, I don't know if you can see that, but this has more corrosion. Like, this is disgusting. That's awful. I'm not feeling too hot about this at the moment. Let's go ahead and get all this water out of here. There's actually standing water in the plug wells. We're going to get that out, then we're going to knock the plugs out of it, and hopefully there's no water in the cylinders, but not looking too good already. Oh, that's gross. Huh. I'm going to... Oh, the smell. Yuck. Oh, okay, towel again. I am starting to regret this. Oh, come on. At least the plugs are actually the right type, which is a first. I haven't had that in a little while. And they actually don't look too bad. Nothing is crushed. There's no missing electrodes. So maybe it's a lower end problem. I don't know. Let's find out. Let's go ahead and pull the passenger side valve cover. I'm really scared to see what I'm going to find. Well, I'll be dang. It's not rusty, but I already see some really bad stuff. I've heard that the timing chain is probably the weak link of this engine. Get it? There's a dad joke in there. And there's the end of the chain. That's not supposed to be broken. Hey, look. There's a souvenir. Yikes. Let's see what we're dealing with on the other side, but that does not look good. See if it's the same story on this side. Well, the chain's still on that side. Most, if not all, of the intake manifold bolts are loose. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it out. See if it has any water in it. That would just be great, wouldn't it? This just keeps getting better. Look at that. Yum. I'd like to note that's an oil galley blocked by part of the chain tensioner. And then there's what's left of that link or that chain jammed between this cam gear and the tensioner itself. That's neat. Now we're going to pull everything off the front of this engine, strip the timing cover off, and see what the chain looks like. Okay, moment of truth. I say that a lot, I think. Well, that is bad. That's part of the chain tensioner. There's a spring, also part of a tensioner. Well, check that out. These are all components of the chain that connects the two cams on the passenger side bank. There's part of the tensioner. Ideally, these all go together and they're still mounted, not loose. And then on the driver bank, I noticed this little piece of a guide. Where could that have come from? Well, that's not your home. Oh, that's where that came from. Now I'm going to pull all of the chains and guides off of this engine so I can go ahead and pull the heads. Before I pull the head off, I'd like to point out that you can get to all of the head bolts without taking any of the valve train or cam out of it. It's really quite nice. One of the things I definitely like about these engines. This actually looks pretty good. I'm surprised. I don't see any signs of water in here. That's a huge relief. Time for the not so great side. I am definitely expecting to see some valve on piston contact or valve on valve. I'm not quite sure what to expect here, but it ain't going to be perfect. Or dry. Cool. How lucky is this? No rust, no pitting, and I don't even see any marks from valves. That is amazing. So here is the driver's side cylinder head. It actually looks pretty good. This is what I'm talking about. These are the 9-thread cylinder heads. And you can tell by the casting number. I'll show you what the casting number is here in a second. But this is the whole reason I try to go for these engines. Here is the passenger side cylinder head, which I really expected meant valves. I'm not going to lie. I thought for sure that there's going to be some damage to this cylinder head, but I'm just not seeing it. But the casting number you want to look for is right here on the head. You want to see how this ends in a DC. I think DB and DC are the 9-thread heads, and anything else is going to be a 4-thread head. So these are the heads that everybody wants. Before I start taking the short block apart, I'm actually going to put the cylinder heads and the timing cover in my parts washer. It takes about 30 to 45 minutes to clean this type of part. And a lot of people have asked to see a before and after, so I'm going to do just that. So this is good news. This isn't full of metal or debris. There's a couple pieces of timing guide in there, but not too bad. Usually these things get packed with that plastic, starves the engine of oil, and then it ends up either locking the engine up, or throwing a rod actually. But that doesn't look too bad. And the pan looks disgusting, but there was some moisture in the oil. I mean, it sat for a long time. There's a couple pieces of timing components in the bottom, but again, I'm not that concerned about it. So now we're gonna go ahead and pull the N2 rod caps off and check the bearings. And if those look good, I think that I'm gonna sell this as a complete short block. So I checked these rod caps because they are the furthest from the oil pump. And this one has a little bit of damage. There's a line, a groove right in the middle of it. It's not terrible. I've definitely seen worse. But more importantly, the crank actually looks all right. There's a little scratch, really fine scratch, but you can't feel it. So it can likely be polished out. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the rest of the rod caps off. And if I don't see anything, I most likely won't include that in the video because, well, looking at good bearings is kind of boring. The rod bearing with the groove ended up being the only one with any type of damage. The crank looks good, so I'm gonna keep this complete. I think it'll be a lot easier to sell this way, it'll bring more money, and it's frankly less work for me. I'm actually pretty happy with the way this came out. It looked terrible from the beginning, and I feel like I'm missing something. Oh yeah, the heads are in the parts wash. Yep, I think she's done. Whew, that's hot. Before I can show you what this looks like, I need to rinse off all the caustic fluid and then spray the cams down with some sort of moisture wicking. I'll probably use this WD-40 to kind of keep them from flash rusting, but everything's a lot cleaner. Here is what the heads look like after they're out of the parts wash. The reason those valves are open, gotta remember these heads still have cams and valve train in them. But these clean up really nice. That parts washer has paid for its weight and then some. Everything looks really good. I got a couple broken exhaust manifold bolts on that cylinder head. All the combustion chambers look really good. There's no apparent damage. I'm quite content with this. This is this was a surprisingly good engine to take apart. For something that started off so bad, I mean, that was gross and so much corrosion on the outside of that. I bet it was years that engine sat outside. It had no moisture on the inside, like nothing damaged. That piston was at top dead center that had the open intake valves. It could have been so much worse. I mean, the chain that came apart, the pickup could have been clogged. That's the stuff I see most of the time on a 4-valve engine, but not this. This is fantastic. I'm going to have a good pair of heads to sell and a great builder short block. If you'd like to buy parts from this engine or any of the others I've taken apart, I'm going to leave her email in the description. As far as upcoming teardowns, I've got a few slated, but not a lot of LS stuff. In fact, I'm pretty much out of LS stuff. Everything I've got is already torn down, and I mean, we're selling a couple short blocks a day. I'm going to run out. I'm literally going to run out, which has never happened before. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.